For years, Kyle Richards and Mauricio Umansky have been admired as one of reality television's most enduring and grounded couples. In a world of flashing cameras and headline-fueled drama, their marriage always seemed like the rare constant, real, loyal, and built on a foundation of love that felt remarkably genuine. Mauricio, the charismatic real estate mogul behind E-Agency, and Kyle, the beloved Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star, shared a partnership that appeared unshakable. Through fame, fortune, and family life in the spotlight, they stood side by side, a couple that fans saw as both glamorous and relatable. So when reports began to surface that the two had quietly grown apart, fans were stunned. For months, speculation swirled, and now, after a period of silence, Kyle Richards has made her first public appearance. An appearance that, without a single word, seems to reveal more than any confession could. The appearance that captured everyone's attention. It wasn't a red carpet premiere or a Bravo photo call. Kyle was simply photographed walking through Beverly Hills, holding a coffee cup and wearing a serene, focused expression. But what truly captivated viewers wasn't where she was, it was what she wore. A soft white blouse, light denim, gold jewelry, and oversized sunglasses. Effortless, elegant, purposeful. Every detail felt deliberate, calm, restrained, and deeply symbolic. Fashion analysts called her look a study in quiet strength. The use of white, they noted, was significant. In color psychology, white often represents renewal, clarity, and rebirth. After months of speculation, this subtle but powerful appearance felt like Kyle's way of reclaiming her narrative, not through interviews or statements, but through her presence. She wasn't hiding, she wasn't pretending. She was moving forward, graceful, composed, and entirely self-assured. Body language that spoke louder than words. Experts in nonverbal communication have dissected Kyle's walk, and their findings are fascinating. Her posture was upright yet relaxed, shoulders back, chin slightly lifted, eyes steady. This wasn't a woman collapsing under pressure, it was someone standing firmly in her truth. One analyst described her pace as measured and intentional. Not hurried, not hesitant. When a person walks like that, they said, it communicates acceptance, a readiness to move forward. Then there was her expression, not a full smile, but a calm, soft curve of the lips. It wasn't sadness, it was resolve. A look that suggested she's found peace in her own timing. When she briefly acknowledged the photographers with a small wave before stepping into her car, that subtle motion became a message in itself. It wasn't about performance. It was about control, quiet, dignified control. Kyle wasn't letting the tabloids script her emotions. She was reclaiming the story, one calm step at a time. The calm behind the headlines. Behind the sunglasses, though, there's no doubt a storm of emotions. For over 27 years, Kyle and Mauricio have been the heart of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. While others courted scandal, they stood as proof that love and family could survive the spotlight. Mauricio often spoke lovingly about Kyle, crediting her for keeping their home grounded while he built his real estate empire. Kyle, in turn, praised Mauricio's loyalty and warmth, calling him her partner in everything. They built an empire together, a beautiful family, a thriving business, and a legacy rooted in trust. So when rumors of distance began to surface, it felt surreal. Friends close to Kyle say she's been leaning on her inner circle more than ever, her daughters, her sister Kathy, and a few trusted friends. But what's most striking is how she's handled everything publicly. No emotional outbursts, no interviews, just composure. And that silence, in a world built on noise, is perhaps her most powerful statement yet. Public reaction, a wave of empathy. Within hours of her Beverly Hills outing, photos of Kyle began circulating online. Fans flooded social media with messages of support, praising her strength and poise. Many described her as the picture of grace, the definition of class, and proof that dignity still exists in reality TV. Others noted how her understated style and gentle demeanor mirrored the grounded personality she's always shown on rhobh. Some even drew comparisons to icons like Princess Diana, women who carried themselves with elegance amid scrutiny. Kyle's quiet resilience has resonated deeply, especially among women who know what it means to stay composed when life shifts beneath them. It's a reminder that grace under pressure is its own kind of courage. Mauricio Umansky, silent, then subtle signs. Meanwhile, Mauricio has largely kept to himself, focusing on buying Beverly Hills and his work at the agency. Those close to him describe him as introspective, staying busy but clearly reflective. On social media, he's shared glimpses of his life, his daughters, his travels, his work, but always with a tone of optimism. During a recent interview, Mauricio made a comment that fans couldn't help but interpret as meaningful. Sometimes growth means walking through uncomfortable moments. You can't avoid change, you just have to trust it's leading somewhere better. It was brief, but to those who have followed their story, it felt telling. Whether deliberate or not, the sentiment reflected the kind of emotional maturity that's defined Mauricio for years. Not defiant, not dismissive, just real. Symbolism and self-healing. Let's return to Kyle's outfit, that soft white blouse and gold jewelry. Fashion psychologists have suggested the look represented renewal and emotional clarity. It was subtle but full of meaning. Every element, the minimalist accessories, the light fabrics, the natural makeup, seemed to say, "This is me, at peace at my own pace." Even her loosely styled hair spoke volumes, a shift from polished perfection toward effortless authenticity. Experts call this visual healing, the process of expressing emotional recovery through personal style. Kyle wasn't performing calmness, she was living it. Private pain, public poise. Those close to Kyle say she's been focusing on what brings her peace: family time, fitness, time in nature, and connecting with her daughters. She's not bitter, a friend shared. She's reflective. She's taking things one step at a time. And that quiet restraint, that refusal to overshare, has only strengthened her image. Because in a world built on confessionals, Kyle's silence feels radical. It's the kind of strength that doesn't need to be explained, it's simply felt. The next chapter, together or apart. As for the future of Kyle and Mauricio, no one truly knows what comes next. Some insiders suggest they're taking space to reflect, not as an ending but as a pause. A moment to breathe, to rediscover, to understand who they are outside the roles they've always played. And maybe that's the most honest version of love, one that evolves. Sometimes love doesn't vanish, it transforms. It softens from partnership into friendship, from togetherness into mutual respect. Those who know them say they wouldn't be surprised if Kyle and Mauricio eventually find their way back to each other, wiser, calmer, stronger. But even if they don't, they've already shown something profound. That love at its most mature means allowing one another the space to grow. Lessons in grace, Kyle's quiet strength. For viewers who followed her journey from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills to this moment of introspection, Kyle Richards' composure has become a lesson in dignity. She's shown that grace isn't about pretending, it's about standing tall when the world is watching. In a culture that thrives on drama, her quietness speaks volumes. Through restraint, she's reminded everyone that real strength isn't loud, it's steady. And in that stillness, Kyle Richards has never looked more powerful. Insiders noticed that her energy, both on and off camera, had changed. No longer trying to uphold the image of perfection that rhobh viewers had long associated with her, Kyle began embracing something more authentic: vulnerability. On social media, her posts reflected a softer rhythm. No glam squads, No elaborate captions, just moments. A morning hike, a coffee with her daughters. A candid smile shared with her sister Kathy. To longtime fans, it felt like a quiet reintroduction. This is who I am now. Kyle has always been strong, a close friend told People. But now she's learning how to be peaceful. There's a difference, and you can feel it in her energy. A new kind of courage. The entertainment world can be relentless, where silence often invites speculation and privacy is treated like mystery. Yet, Kyle seems to have chosen courage through restraint. Instead of feeding rumors or crafting statements, she's allowed time to tell her story. And maybe, in doing so, she's showing a different side of strength, the kind that doesn't need validation. Her friends describe her mornings as calm, yoga, journaling, meditation. Even a return to horseback riding, something she loved before fame consumed her life. It's her therapy, another insider said. She feels most free when she's disconnected from the noise. While other Bravo stars have used confessional-style interviews to process their pain, Kyle's healing feels private, deeply internal. She isn't trying to prove she's fine, she's becoming fine. The public's connection to her journey. There's something universally relatable about watching a woman rebuild, especially one the public has seen smile through so much for so long. Fans aren't just watching a celebrity go through change, they're seeing a reflection of themselves.